This
Right.
conference will now be recorded.
Last class, we've been talking about LDS, Lightning Data Service, right? There are two approaches to LDS. Number one, form-based, program-based. Last class, we've been talking about LDS form-based. How many types of forms are there? There are three
Three.
types of forms available. Lightning Record View form, Lightning Record Edit form, Lightning Record form, a record form. These are the different, right, types of forms available, right? LDS through a form based. We already did this yesterday, right? What is an LDS? Without writing any server side controller to access Salesforce data is called Lightning Data Service, right? Without writing any server side controller, you want to access your Salesforce data. We call them as what? We call them as Lightning Data Service. Lightning Data Service. Everyone clear? So there are two approaches, one with a form based and other approach is what? Is with programming based. Today we will see the second approach. Yesterday, if you remember that, we have seen the first approach, where by using this lightning form you can put your custom fields, and using those custom fields you can how to place those components back to your contacts, or in the flexi page how to put them in a flexi page. We have seen that, right? Now today we will go to the second piece of this, called as what? LDS through programming. That is called as force record data. You will be learning a new command called as force record data. Force record data. Write down LDS programming. LDS programming based approach. LDS programming based approach. LDS programming based approach. Right? LDS programming based approach. Right? LDS programming based approach. Right? Write down retrieving or controlling Salesforce data, or you can just say controlling, cut the retrieving, controlling of a Salesforce data, controlling of a Salesforce data using client side controller, using client side controller, using a client side controller, using a client side controller is called LDS programming approach. Is called LDS programming approach. Right? Is called LDS programming approach. LDS programming approach. Right? LDS programming approach. Clear now? Okay, now let's see how to do this. Before we go to the right force data record, let's understand. Let's understand force data record. What is a force? Write down. Right? We'll be using a syntax called as force record data. Force record data. Force record data. Write down. Force record data. Force record data component. Force record data component defines a parameter of accessing, modifying, creating, or deleting. Accessing, modifying, creating, or deleting record using LDS programming approach. Using LDS programming approach. Using LDS programming approach. Force record data. Whenever you're using a force record data, there are certain attributes which are compulsory. Record ID, target fields, target record. Record ID, target fields. There in the record form, it was called as fields. Record ID in the record form, whether it's a view form, edit form, it was called as record ID only. Target field, here it is called target field. There it was called as fields, yesterday's class. Target record, target record. There it is, there used to call as object API name. We used to use object API name in Lightning record forms. Yesterday's class, object API name. Here we call them as target record. Target record. Right? So these three fields are compulsory. Now write down methods. What are the methods that are available in force data? Methods of force data. Methods of force data. Methods of force data. Methods of force data. Number one, get new record. Get new record. Get new record. Get new record. Hyphen to create a new record. Bracket initialization. To create a new record. Bracket initialization. Right? You can initialize it. You can get a new record. Whatever you want to do, you can do that. Next, reload record. Reload a record. Reload record. Right? So what is this? Loads a current record, refreshes, re-rendering, performs a load operation at the initialization. Loading a record, reload record, rarely used. We don't use this. We use the new one to load an empty record. That means to create a new record. Empty record means new record. I want to create a new record, right? We use this. Next, save record. To put a save button, right? Yesterday the buttons were coming default, right? Automatically the buttons were coming. Whenever I use a record form, the buttons were coming, right? I don't want to use record form based. I want to use input the way we have been doing it, right? Earlier also we created employee account first name, account name, account industry, and I hit the save button and the data used to go to the database using a server-side controller. We will take the same approach, but without writing a server-side controller. We will write only client-side controller, no server-side controller. I want my custom. I don't want the form-based. I don't want layout full, layout compact. I don't want custom fields. I want to create my own, right? I want to create my lightning card, lightning input, right? And a button, when I click on the button, immediately it has to save. But earlier, when you click the button, we used to write as client side controller. Client side controller will call server side controller. It will pass the parameter and it will create an account. Same approach without a server side, what I'm showing you now. Save record will save the record. Delete record will delete the record. Delete record will delete the record. Delete record will delete the record. Right? Delete record will delete the record. Clear now? Now, let's first see get a new record. Right? One by one, we will start doing the programming. Let us, right? What is this? Right? We will not use record form now. We will use what? Record data. Force record data. Force record data. Right? Last time we have been using form. Force record data. These, right? We will use force record data. Force record data has 4 methods. Get new record, reload record, save record, delete record. These are the only 4 methods available. Only 4 methods. Let's go ahead and see. Rupam @lt96.com, password CRM1234#. Right, let me log in. Right, I click on setup, click on developer console. My developer console is coming up, so let's wait. Let me close everything. By the way, you can see that there's a record form. I'm just keeping this component. Record form, right? Record form. I'm just keeping this component, right? So that we can compare it. File, new, lightning component, LC underscore 0406 underscore EG1 underscore, what is that? LDS, I will say program, LDS program approach. I will say has lightning record page. Lightning record page. I just checked that. Click OK. What is the difference? I will get an implement. Implement, flexible, available for record, force has record ID, access global. Perfectly done. Now here, keep on watching. Right. I will use what? Force record data. Force record data. Force record data. In the force record data, what are the things which are compulsory? Record ID. I'm breaking it, guys. Right? First one, I told you, what is that compulsory? Record ID is compulsory. Control C. Record ID is compulsory. Record ID equals to. Record ID has to be taken dynamically. I'll say exclamation V dot field. Exclamation V dot, record ID, RECORD, record ID. Without declaring an attribute, I can use this because I have force has record ID. This will return the record ID to the lightning component. Without declaring an attribute, I can go ahead and I can declare this. Next, Next, next. What is the next compulsory one? You can see that in the PPT, the next one says target fields. Target fields. Target, right? Target fields. These are some important things that we have to use, right? However, these are not compulsory. Let us see which are mandate, right? I go to my dictionary, right? Lightning component reference. Lightning component reference. This is the reference library which you'll be using always in the real time, right? Force, force, record data, force, record data, right? Anything is compulsory? No, nothing is compulsory. That means, right? Depending on the usage, I told you there are four methods: delete method, get new method, reload method, save method. These are the four methods available. Delete method. Now you'll understand, wait. Let's do one by one, right? So nothing is compulsory. Perfectly fine, right? What are the fields? FIELDS, fields. Where is the fields? There is something called fields and target fields. If you go and check it, there is something called field. Specify which of the record field to query. And then there is a target field. A simplified view of fields in a target to reference record field component markup. Field and target field. What is the difference? Wait, I'll talk about it. Wait, as I go inside, I will talk about it. We will do this, right? Target field and field, right? Target fields, right? So let's go ahead. Fields. Fields, I will give what? Let's say this time we'll do accounts, name, comma, description, comma, phone, comma, INDUSTR. Yesterday, you remember that? This I put in the attribute. Today also I'll do the same thing. I will put them in the attribute only. Right? I'm just showing you. Fields. Next. Next. Or let's do one thing. Let's declare an aura attribute. Right? Next. Let's go ahead and declare what? Aura attribute. Okay. But anyhow, let's see how it works. Fields equals to this. Then I have what? Target fields. I'm copying from here directly. Target fields. I put it here. Target fields. Target fields. Next, I have target error. Right? If there is any error, I want to display. Will be set to localize error message if the record can't be provided. So system will give me an error if I use target error. I'm placing everything on the page, whichever I need. Target error. Right? I have a record ID. Fine. Now, what is this? Let me start with target field. Which field is your target? I want to target account field, right? So what I will say, aura attribute, aura attribute, aura attribute, right? I will say name equals to ACC, type, type, type equals to, I will say, oh, type spelling is on. Type equals to object. Here I should say account actually. Object. I'm taking type as what? Object. Universal. Universal. Object. Universal object. Right? Now I want to display whenever there is an error, right? So object. Oh, sorry. I will say target field equals to, right? Exclamation v dot, v dot ACC. target fields of account, error. For that also I need one more attribute where all the errors will be stored. If any error comes, I need to store somewhere. What type of, I will say RECERR over record error. What type of it is? It's a string. Long text message will come. So if the system is not able to retrieve the data, it will give me an error. So this error will be stored where? In v dot record error. Now I can say alert v dot record error and message will be displayed on the screen. Or if you want to put in front of the screen, wherever you want to put, you can put this field. Automatically errors will be displayed. I'm copying the error. I'm transferring it to that attribute. Right? Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Right? Perfectly fine. That's good. Error. Right? Now what I will do, right? I will use, okay, I'm closing it here itself. I'm removing the force data. Record force data. Record ID equals to v dot record ID, right? Fields equal to name, description, phone, industry, right? Target field equals to v dot. Actually, for fields also, I can create an attribute called array attribute, string of array, and I can define them, right? That's good. Then target error is stored in the error. Perfect. Now I will use lightning card. Lightning card, right? Title equals to account. Now title equals to account. Okay. So I will say lightning input. Lightning input. Label ACCOUNT account name, right? Value equals to exclamation v dot acc dot name, v dot acc dot name, because I have defined the attribute. Keep on watching, right? So v dot, right? Now here, right? Name, phone, account phone. Next, name, right? What I'll take, industry. I will say account industry. Account industry. Next, there is no rating here. I'm taking rating now. Let's see what happens. Ratings is not there in the record data. Rating is not there in the record data, but I'm taking rating there. Rating is not there in the account data. Is that name is there, description is there, phone industry, name, phone industry. I didn't took the description. In place of I took a rating. I say control S. Now I will not write any server side, any client side controller for now. I'm not writing any client side controller for now. Let's go ahead and put this in our account page because it's a flexi page. View all. I go to the accounts. Right? I open any account. Already yesterday we deployed this account info display. Okay. Now I click on setup. I click on edit page. Edit page. I should be able to see the component here when I scroll down. Right? Today's date. See? 406. I put this component below here. Format, let it load. Right, done. I have put the component here. So that I put the component here. I click on save. I click on back. Our component also appears there. Right. I scroll down. Can you see our component coming up here? Right. See, automatically the data got loaded. Automatically. I didn't took, right? I just used what? Has record ID. Automatically system took the record ID. What are the fields that I've placed? Those fields only got loaded here. Rupam, then what is this field? Rating is not there in the field here, but you have taken it here. We will talk about it. What is this field? We'll talk about it. That means, right, under the change, whatever the field is listed here, only those change will be taken. Right? Rating, right? Rating is not a part of this record data. Hence, rating will be not be considered, even though it is displayed. I've not put any button, guys. That's where now I will come. I'll do slowly. I'm doing. Now I will put a button, a custom button called save or delete. Right? This is retrieve, so that automatically system is reading the data. Now I go to another account. System will load that corresponding account. See, system is loading. System is loading. Right? System is loading what? Right? The corresponding data. 445555. I update there, it will be updated here. Right? See, rating. Right? Now, keep on observing. Account rating is not coming. Even though rating is here hot, I change from hot to cold, warm, save. See that rating is not reflecting. I changed the account phone number from 1234 from 44 to 123456. I click on save. You see that, right? Whatever the data is there, nothing is changing in my screen. Right? Nothing is changing in my screen. I refresh, I reload it. That means I have to write a reload function. The data that I'm making changes here, right, reloads only when I manually refresh it. I'm making a change, right? Industry, where is industry? I go and I change the industry from here to banking, agriculture, biotechnology. I click on save. See, now it got refreshed, right? But rating is not coming, phone is not coming. Let's see, did we have phone included? Phone included, phone included. That means the phone should refresh. I can understand that rating is not refreshing because in the record data, right, rating is not there. So even though the field is there, system is not caring that field anymore. See, system is not caring that field anymore. Getting at what I'm saying? Right? I'm changing the rating to cold. I click on save. My rating is not reflecting. I change the phone number, right, to 3333333333. I click on save. Right? Phone is not changing. But if I change the industry from biotechnology to somewhere to communication, I click save. Immediately, okay, it should be changing. System should be refreshing. That means the reload function is not working properly. Sometimes it's changing, sometimes it's not. However, whatever might be the case, even if you manually reload, you see that account rating is not captured. Even though in my system account rating is cold. Rating is cold. because in my force data, rating is not here. Rating is not here. In my force, my rating is not there. Comma, right? RATING, rating. Control S. Comma, rating. Control S. Right? Well, takes little time to refresh and show it. Now you see that rating has come. Now you see that rating has come. That means anything which is there in the force data only will be captured. That means tomorrow, if I don't use rating here and in the page I change the rating to warm and I click on save, system will not consider that's this field because you didn't have the coverage of this field in the record data. You're using rating, but you're not using it. You're not covering that field there. Understood what I'm saying? Whatever the record data will cover, those fields only will be in the scan area, in the scanner. Remaining fields will be out of the scanner. In this current case, Control S, you can see once again I saved. Current case, force record data doesn't have a rating, but I'm using rating in my output. Usually, I am also getting output. Next time when I refresh it, right, rating is gone, blank again. Even though rating was, right, what was the rating? Under details, we have cold. See, rating is cold. It's showing rating equals to cold. But here, the data is not getting reported. The reason? You are not covering that field. So, whichever field you place on the page, make sure that you cover them. Before I start writing save. Because if I write a save button now here, save button, and I call a save method, all these three data change will be saved, but except the rating data. Because rating is not a part of record data. Understood? Yes or no, the concept first. Right? Everyone. Yes. Everyone, yes. Good.
Yes.
Right. Now let's do the one real piece. Right? Let's do a real piece. Right? We will create a new contact from account. Account information is stored, it's showing in account. This is account. I'm in account tab. What are these? Account. But no. From here, the way, click on new contact and your form comes. I want here in this place, create new contact. From an account, you can directly create a contact. Let's do this. You need not to go to contact to create a contact. You are in account, you can directly create the contact. You are in account, you can directly create the contact. Right? Linking to account is a bug. Passing an ID will pass the ID, but still it will not link. That's a bug. That is a known bug. Right? So first, let us do the first level of work. Clear now? I'm closing it. I'm taking new lightning component. LC underscore example 2 underscore LDS program create con. LDS program create con. I'm saying for lightning record page. Save. Right? Done. It's calls, it can be used in a flexi page. It has a record ID, it has a data. Now keep on, right, observing. AURA, aura, ATTRIBUT, aura attribute. Name equals to what? Con. Type equals to what? S object or object. OEJCT object. Perfectly done, right? Perfectly done. Phew. Now to create a new, I require two memory location. Two memory location. New con. Everybody will get confused now. Wait. Con and new con. All of you will get confused. I know that. At the time of loading itself, I want to initialize. As the page loads your an account, you click on any account called AAA. I should be able to type here the account name and it should not give me a null error. I have to initialize it. When? As the page loads. That means I have to write this code on the default load event. AURA, aura, HANDLER, handler. Name equals to init, initialization. Value equals to this. Action equals to what? C dot invoke me, right? We will write this. Perfect. Now I will use the record data. Force record data. I'm copying it. Record ID is record ID. Target fields. I will give the fields. You can define an attribute and you can give an attribute also. The way we did in yesterday like this. V dot. You can define an attribute called array. Or you can give them directly also. Fields. What are the fields? Last name, comma, first name, comma, phone. Only three fields in the scanner. In the scanner, only three fields. Aura, target field. Target field is v.con. Target field is v.con. Target field is v.con. Target field, contact object. Now, first time I'll be using something different, right? Called as, right? I will say target record. Contact fields. Which is a target record? Target record is also contact. V dot newcon. Newcon is the location where the new contact will be stored. Con is the location where old contact will be stored. Once you hit the save button, I want the data to be retained there. Is it a new data? No. Once the page loads, right, I will type name, I will type 777, I will type in something. Where this data is it saved? Name equals to, right, Rupam technology. Where is this data? It's in a temporary location. So that is the reason it's a new con. New con is new location. As soon as I hit save, my new location, my temporary location will be blank and this will be committed to the database. Then the data has to come from the database. That is my old con. That is my old con. That is the reason I'm saying con, new con. Keep on watching. Two types of, because you're creating a record, I need to have to temporary hold and after the data is saved to hold, right? Those who are not clear, wait, you'll understand. Perfect. Anybody has any questions? Absolutely perfect. Right now what I will do, I will use a lightning card. I will say title, Create contact is the title. Create contact, right? Here I will say aura set. I will say attribute equals to action. Attribute equals to actions. And I'll have the button. Lightning button. Label equals to. So that you'll understand it is our button. Save. Right? Lightning button. Save. On click. On click equals to what? Save me. Oh, save me. Right? Exclamation C dot. On click exclamation C dot. On click exclamation C dot. Perfect. Right? Or asset is over. So that means button will come to the action area. Now I will say lightning. I'll copy from here itself, guys. Control C. Lightning input. Label equals to CONT contact first name. First name. What is that? CON. That's our con. Con. Dot what? First name. How many fields you want? Our area is only 3. If you take anything outside this area, right? Last name. What is this? Contact. Last name. Then contact phone. What is that? Contact phone. If I take anything else here, that will not be in the coverage, because in the coverage only these 3 fields, only that 3 fields in the coverage, only that 3 fields in the coverage, only that 3 fields in the coverage. Done. Over. Control S. Now we have to write the controller program, because this is a custom button. This plus when the page is loading, I have to initialize it. Controller. My invoke me. Copy. Comma. What was the next one? Save me. 2 actions. Invoke me, save me. Invoke me, save me. Right? Now let's go. Here, initialization. At the time, I have to initialize this. At the time, I have to initialize this. How the initialization happens? Initialization can be happen with the help of what? Get new record. I will use the first method today. First method I'm using. Get new record. Get new record. This is the way I'll initialize. Then save me, I will call this save record. I cannot use my original way of initialization. If you remember that, type default equals to, remember, default, default equals to s object. Type s object. No, you cannot. Here, initialization has to be done with this method. New record method. New record method. Data force record form doesn't take aura initializations. Aura initializations. Right? Now, one more thing we have to remember. Start declaring ID everywhere. Because whenever you use this method, it requires ID. It requires ID. ID of what? ID of the record data. So that's the reason I'm saying what? AURA, aura ID. Aura ID. Aura ID equals to what? I will say REC. Anything. A, B, C, A1, B1, REC. Rec, rec, rec. Start. You remember where did we define this ID? Whenever you want to call, you want to identify something by ID, dot find. Remember component dot find, dot value. Component dot find by ID dot value. You remember? Same thing here. Again, the ID is coming back. Always use our ID. Always. Now we will start writing the program. First, I'm writing invoking, initializing. Initialization has to be done with what? Initialization has to be done with what? Get new record. Keep on watching. Component dot find. Find always take what? Or ID. Find what? Find rec. Find the rec. That means find the force record. Dot. Now I will use this method. Which method? Get record ID. Sorry, get new record. Right? Those in the force. In the force, there is a method called as get new record. Control C. I'm using the same. My PPT and that is same almost. Get new record. Right? I go ahead and I say component dot find dot get new record. Get new record. In the get new record, right, there are a lot of things you have to do. Keep on. It requires what? If you see the diagram of it, requires a callback function. A function to be invoked after a new record template is retrieved. Right? So let's understand. Get new record. Right? Get new record. What record you have to get? I have to write in this bracket. I split the bracket. This is a structure. Right? Now, in between the bracket, I write the program. What is that? First, what record you want to do? Contacts. Define contact. Next, right? Contact. Now let us go ahead and understand this. Callback. Get. First is object API name. Second is record type. Get new record has first one object API name. That is the reason I gave what? Contact. Comma. Next. What is the next one? Next is record type ID. If null, the default record will be used. Okay, then I'll say null. I don't want to pass any record ID. Null. Third one, again I'm going to the dictionary. Sketch, boolean, force to trip the server, caching of local, true or false. You want to store this in a temporary memory? I will say false. It's a boolean. That's the reason I'm using false, guys. It's a boolean. Next, I have a callback. The last one, comma, is a callback. There are 4 attributes. That's the reason in the bracket I'm taking 4. Always a callback has to be $A dot get, not set now. Get. Earlier we are using set callback. Here we are saying get callback. Get callback. How do you write a get callback? Function. Function. In the bracket I will say response. As usual, I will not say anything. Right? And then this is how you write, you remember? We have been writing it.
You're writing earlier this comma function, then response, right?
Right, response, comma function, right? This comma, I need not to use this because I am already inside a method. I'm already inside a method. I'm not declaring this in a variable. There in the server side controller, you remember, we say var action equals to c dot get the method name. That is the reason I have to say this. Here I'm already inside the method, so I need not to say this. This comma function, right? Response. This is the way I should write. Right now I'm already inside this, so I'm not doing separately. Suppose if I declare this right in a variable, then I have to say this. I'm talking about this variable. Now I need not to use this directly function. Function what? Right? Function what? You can give a name. You don't want to give a name, your wish. Right? All the program has to be done inside this bracket again. So that program inside the program we're doing. Right? All the program has to be done inside this. What do you want? Right? I want some message. Keep on watching. Var ACC equals to component dot get. Component dot get. Get what? V dot what? New con. V dot. Oh, where I'm going there? V dot new con. Wait, you'll understand. New con. I want to see. I did not write this program. This is all way I'm writing it. If what? If ACC is equals to null, then I will say, right, contact creation failed or contact initialization failed. All in initialization. I will say alert. 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 Alert what? Alert. Alert what? Double quote, single quote, meaning is same. Contact initialization failed. Else alert. Contact initialization success. Success. Contact initialization success. Contact initialization success. Clear? Contact initialization success. Clear? Perfectly fine. Control S. Let's do the first part and see what we did, what we not. What we did, what we not. Clear, everyone? Right? Clear, everyone? Perfect. 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 Now, let's see. I go to my account again. I'm an account. Setup, edit page. First time you're doing, confused. Tomorrow when I'll do again, you will be clear. Okay. Just keep watching the game. I scroll down. I should be able to see today's example too. Right? I'm removing this component, by the way. Right? Delete. Okay, let this be there. I'm placing my component here. There's a problem. What happened? Error. Set callback V is not defined. Set callback V is not defined. Let's go and check it out. Set callback V is not defined. Right? It should be in a it should be in a quotes, Control S. See, close. Delete the one. Delete. Scrolling down. Delete. Once again, drag and drop. I don't want to get any errors here. V is not defined, right? Don't worry. It takes time. Leave the page. I made the V. V was not in a double quotes. That's the reason it gave an error. V was not in a double quotes. That's the reason it gave an error, right? So that's good. Once again, go to any account. Go to any account. Any account. Set up. Edit page. Scroll down. Now drag and drop. Oh, it's already there, no? I delete it because I didn't save it earlier. Delete. Save. Perfect. Drag and drop. See, this time I didn't got an error. So make sure that you don't get an error. So if you're still getting error, you are sure that yes, I made the change, it's all correct. Go back. Or you can use here, refresh the component. Then the component will be refreshed. That means the code will be refreshed. Now I click on save. Save. I go back. When I scroll down, see, contact initialization success. That means I can type a contact name. Contact name SWATHI. Swati. Contact last name SRIVASTAV Srivastava. Phone 888888. Save button. Nothing will work because in this button I have not written any command. I'm in account, guys. From account I'll be creating contact. Initialization succeeded. Perfect. Now let's go. In the save me program, I have to write a program. In the save me, what to save? I have to save this record. How to save? Right? I will use what? Component.find. Same thing I'm using. Component.find. Dot. What is that? I have to use what? Save record. Component.find. Save record. Component.find. Find what? Find the force. I give our ID. Right? Save record. Save. Save. Component.find. Save record. Right? Inside this, a callback is required. If you see this, it says only callback. Callback function invoke after a new record is retrieved. Only after the new record is retrieved. What I will say? Function. Function. Right? Function. Function. And I will say response. As usual, my official name I'll be using. Response. Response. As usual, my official name, which I'll be always using. Response. Right? Response. Over. All the program I have to write here. I'll write later. Actually, these programs are also waste, guys. Whatever I'm highlighting, you can remove it. That's it. Till callback is enough. This is just to my security, whether initialization happened or not. New memory location got created or not. Initialization. Otherwise, in the input field, can you go ahead and write? Can you go ahead and fill the data? As soon as you type SWAT, it will say null error. Because nowhere in the programming I said, right here, con default. Remember, default equals to S object type. Type equals to S object. Type equals to S object. I'm not defining a default. That's the reason I'm using what? I'm using a program to initialize it. I want to know whether this whole initialization was success or not. That's the reason I took this. Otherwise, you can remove this whole program. Delete.
So instead of
Edit.
programming, can we write default there?
Right? What default?
The one that you
Don't write
used
anything.
to write in the beginning?
You can, but if you write in that way, then you have to write a server-side controller. If you write the default, then the record data will not take. Record data has 3 methods.
Okay,
Record
got
data
it.
has a method. So you can do, if you go here called default, then you have to use what? Don't use record type, then use server-side controller. The whole purpose is that without using server-side controller, then this is the way. That means record data is handling everything. Initialization also is not handled by the component, by the record data only. Saving by record data. Edit by record data. Delete by record data. Everything by force record data. How to initialize? I have to initialize like this. If you default initialize it, then this whole program is not required. No. If this
Yeah,
whole
got
is
it,
not
got it.
initialized, then whatever the changes you're making, it will not accept those changes. My save will not work. Right? Now, right, what I'm doing, I'll go ahead and I'll check whether this is working or not. Control S. I'll go to my page. Refresh. 3 or 4 times refresh, guys. Refresh. Refresh every time. Contact initialization success. As the page load, initialization has to happen. Contact initialization success. Okay. Again, I'm going to the address bar. I'm pressing enter. Multiple time I'm refreshing. Again, it says contact initialization success. Scroll down. Now this button should work. Name. Oh, what happened? Sorry for the interruption. Okay. Okay. Refresh. Contact initialization success. Contact initialization success. Scroll down. S. Something has gone wrong. You can see that. You might need to refresh the page.
Sir,
Yep.
you did not initialize the attribute name, sir. Error, record error.
Okay, that's okay. That's if I don't initialize the attribute name also, error. That's okay. All right. That was, let's see, once again. Error has, you might, right? What is this? You might just need to refresh. First, would like to give us some details. We are reporting an error ID 490. Technical stuff. Where is he? You have to now see where, what error. By looking at this, you'll not understand anything. So whenever I'm typing, right, my initialization is failing. Earlier, I typed everything. Initialization was working fine. Did I made any changes in the program? No, right? Record, white. Let me go ahead and check this out very clearly. Contact, null, false, component.find, record, get new record, $A, callback, function. There is a function there. Okay. In the function, var, right? These are all waste anyhow. These are to display message, whether initialization happened or not. I have nothing to do with, okay. So, okay, initialization happened or not. It's just
Here in the function response, so you gave it, right?
Oh, no, 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 no. I got the issue. Hmm, hmm, hmm. No. Record ID, record ID, record ID. Why I'm taking record ID? Record ID. I shouldn't be taking record ID because whenever this record ID is trying, there's a problem is happening. You're trying to create a contact, but this whole is loading account ID, right? This whole is taking account ID. So let's remove it. I don't need this. Don't put the record ID because if you take a record ID, then system is taking whose record ID? System is picking up whose record ID? System is picking up the account record ID, and that record ID is creating a problem in the initialization memory. It is holding an account record ID and you're trying to create a contact. That's what my first look, what I understand. That is what the first look, what I understand, right? By looking at it, I have a record ID problem. So let me remove the record ID. Bank space, Control S. I don't want any record IDs. Don't. Okay. Refresh. This will take time because refresh has to done. Otherwise, you have to log off, log on, because we are calling a service, right? Contact initialization success. Initialization was success, but as soon as the memory start allocating, when you type something, right? So let me go to marketing. I'm just removing the cache memory. Then again, from there, I click on app manager. I go to sales. Now let me click on account. Let me click on Rupam technology. Account contact initialization success. I click OK. I scroll down. I type the name SWA THI. See, now I'm not getting error. Right? Let's see Swati. SRIVASTAV Srivastav. Phone number 88888. Click on save. Go and check in the contact. Right click. Open a new tab. I'm opening contact. I should have Swati Srivastav there. Is that Swati Srivastav with phone number 888 comes in. Now got it? What was the problem? As soon as you had started typing,
Yeah,
right?
but
That's
this
what
was
earlier
but this
also was the same thing. Yes, tell me.
yeah, but this contact we are trying to associate to this particular
No, 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 no,
account.
no, no, no. I have not yet tried to associate it.
Okay, okay.
I have not yet put that funda. I told you there's a bug, there's a glitch of classing ID. On the middle of the class itself, I called it out. Guys, there is a known bug. There is a known bug inside Lightning now. Passing ID is creating a problem. Passing ID is creating a problem. Right? So, clear
Can you
now? Yes.
explain that
Tell me.
save record method again?
Right. If I go to the save record method.
It
Com
means earlier it means it's written that it requires a callback, right?
right. Right. So,
We didn't.
one minute. Component dot save record. This is what the command is. Function response. Here, now you can write, I want alert message of what? Newly created contact ID to be displayed. Newly created contact ID to be displayed. Newly created ID to be displayed. Newly created ID to be displayed. For example, let's take, right? Newly created ID to be displayed. Or you want to display a simple, first let's start with a simple message, alert. Because after clicking the button, I'm not able to understand whether the contact got created or not. Alert, right? No, I will say no, alert success, no. What I will do is that, right, I will say var result equals to response dot, what is that? Response dot get state, right? Result. This is what I used to do the program, you remember? Var, what is that? RESPON, response dot, what is that? What is that? Get state, get state, right? I need not to use get now. I can say response dot state, response dot state, because this is a method which already been called with a, right? Already been called, I can say state, response dot state. In simple word, why to declare var also? I can finally, after that, again I will say if now I'm writing, I'm reducing the line. If what? If what? If response dot state equals to what? Equals to success. Equals to success. Then display message. Alert. Contact created successfully. Contact created successfully. Right? Else what? Contact creation failed. Right? Contact created successfully. Oh, there's a problem. Parsing error, line number 26.
Quote, message has to
Message has to be in quotes. Yes. Control S. Save. Message has to be in a quote, obviously. Over. Control S. Now I go to my I refresh. It's loading. This takes time, guys. This is a tedious process. Today, what we have learned, initialization called as get new record and right save record. Contact initialization success. Once again, I'm refreshing it. Contact initialization success. Going down. Right? What is the name? We will take Sujan. SUJAN Sujan. I'm going and typing Sujan. SUJAN. I don't know his last name, right? He's one of our classmates. I can see here in my GoToMeeting. A Susan. Contact number 99999. Save. Contact created successfully. Okay. I go and check the contact. I should have Sujan A. Perfect. Sujan A is there. Without writing a server-side controller. Now I take the next one. I give the first name, Sushant. I don't have his last name. You remember that last name is compulsory, right? Now I click on save. Contact creation failed because I didn't get the last name, right? Contact creation failed. Last name. right? I didn't create it, right? Contact creation failed. Keep on watching, right? If state equals success, if state equals success, right? From the response, you can get the result. From response, you can get what? You can get the, from a response, you can get what? You can get the result. This all we will see later, tomorrow. How from the response, how can I get the error? Rupam, show me the error, Rupam, right? So simple, right? Simple. What is that? Plus, I want to show the error message. Response dot, you can store in a variable or you can say directly response dot error. It will give you the error message. Control S. Response dot error. Created successfully. Plus response dot id. Response dot not id, record id. Right? Your contact was successfully created with id. Record failed with error over error. Control S. Now let's go. Refresh. Let's go. Refresh. Say I'm reading the response. Initialization success. I'm once again refreshing it. How to read the, right? Next time when I create, now I'll create what? I will get Vamshi Krishna. Somebody is logged in. Vamshi, last name Krishna. Phone number is not required, but 555. Save. So that account created successfully with ID 0032. 0032 is a contact ID. System is showing the ID. Now I can use event. You remember? I can create an event. I can pass this ID to the event attribute. I can create one more component, and after saving, one more component will receive this ID, and with that ID, it will make a SQL call. The same example what I showed in the event, component event, right? Saving a data. There also we are creating, we are searching, pulling. Now you can see after saving with this ID, I can pull something else, right? If it fails, let's say that next, I give next, what I give, I should have, right? And by the way, clear button. I told one, right? Somebody did the homework and sent me. I'll share with you. VNKAT Venkat Reddy. I'm not giving the last name. I click on save. See what I'm getting, right? Contact creation failed with error. In the bracket, it says object. It doesn't give you even the error message. That means now I have to go and find the error message. That all going inside, we'll see later. Now you got it? How to do this? See how the programming is working. Without writing a server-side controller, I'm able to save a record. Earlier, we have been input, we are capturing in a attribute, then set params, we are passing that attribute. There we are saying try catch, try to insert, and then return ID, fail, return fail. But now you see that without writing a server-side controller, with a client-side controller itself, I can save a record using this record save. All these programs is waste, I told you inside. That's the reason I'm writing all separate program like this. Anything that you see separate like this, understand that these are waste program. If you don't write it also, it will work. These are just to enhance messages after saving what to done. Clear, guys? Understood now? LDS with a program. LDS, tomorrow we will continue this class. Understood?
One. Yeah.
Yes. Quickly, I
So,
have another class back to back.
so we have target fields and target record, right? So target record we make it new con, and target field we make it con, right?
Con,
So
right.
and new con we are refreshing
New
it.
con, I'm initializing.
Sorry, yeah,
New
you're
con,
initializing.
What is a con then? Con is nothing but once I save the data, once I save the Venkat Reddy, REDDY. Where this is a new con. Data is not yet saved. As soon as I hit the save button, Venkat Reddy is created. That means in the memory, what is there now? Right? Venkat Reddy. Right? If I just clear this now, if I clear it, right, what will happen? Right? In the new con, memory is clear. I can type Rupam and I can save it. Right? Con is holding the old data, Venkat. Con is holding Venkat. New con is blank. New clone is blank. Shuffled. New con is blank. Got it? There are, as till the time, right, I load the page. Try to understand a little bit more here. Right? I loaded. A temporary memory was created. In that memory, blank data. Blank data. Right? All the, this is new con. Right? That is the reason you'll understand as we go. Target record is new con. Right? Target fields are con. Cons are nothing but these are the fields. These are the fields, but I'm creating finally what I'm going to save. Whatever the data that you enter in this will be stored in a memory location. That memory location is new con. Target new con. Target fields are these con. On the con, I'm entering the first name, last name. It's saving at some location. That location is called new con, and I'm playing the game with the new con. New con. That's where the new location, memory location. From that location, I have to save. That is my target. Right? Able to understand? In the con, right? Able to understand yes or no?
Yes.
Little bit. As you go inside, you'll be able to understand. Just try to think, right? Why I'm taking. Do one thing today. Use con everywhere and see what happens. Field is also con, target is also con. Use that. See what happens. Okay. You'll get a positive result. Don't worry. Right?
Sure.
Do it. As I told you, we'll continue the class tomorrow. So first understand this. We'll continue the class tomorrow. Right? Clear now? That's it for today's class. We will talk about this tomorrow. Continuation. Why I need this, Rupam? What is the purpose? Record form is there. Why I need this? What is the fun? It's the same thing I can do with a record form. There also I can define the field, and I can say target field equals to certain fields, selective fields. Why I need to go ahead and write this program? In record form, I don't need to write a program. Same thing I'm getting. Yesterday also we did a record form with a save button automatically. Why I'm writing this why I should go for a programmatic approach? All these things we'll talk about tomorrow. Till then, thank you. Have a nice and wonderful day. Bye bye, guys.